My name is Ben Jacobs. I started fighting fire in 1979 with the Forest Service. Actually, in '78, I was on a fuel break crew on the Los Padres out of San Luis Obispo, which kind of got me into fire. And then I started on a hotshot crew on the Fulton Hotshots in 1979. Didn't really know what one was until about a week or two before I showed up. And then I stayed with the Forest Service a couple years. Did a couple seasons with CDF, which is now CAL FIRE, as a forestry aide at Mountain Home State Forest in the early '80s. And I was actually trying to be a forester because I went to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo as a forestry major. But there wasn't any jobs and I needed work, so I ended up getting back into fire in the mid '80s and worked for the BLM on a hotshot crew at Kern Valley. And then I went to Park Service in 1987 on the Arrowhead crew and found a home there. Was there 8 years and got my first permanent job on the hotshot crew there. And somewhere around the mid '90s, had an opportunity from my supervisor at the time, Jim Cook, brought me up to Boise, Idaho at NIFC to do kind of a short detail, helping with some training, and it led me to become this coordinator for this new program in 1995 called the Prescribed Fire Modules, and which has morphed and evolved into, I think they're called the Wildland Fire Modules now. I'm not even sure. They had 3 names in 3 years when I ran the program, so I coordinated that program and got that off the ground for 3 years, and very, very rewarding experience for myself, and then to see how that program's grown today. And then I ended up after 3 years wanting to get back in the field. My old supervisor on the crew, Dan Buckley, was able to bring me down to Point Reyes as a prescribed fire specialist, and I did 4 years there. And then I went back to Sequoia Kings Canyon as the fuels management specialist in 2002, and thought I'd be there 2 or 3 years and stayed there the rest of my career. Ended up kind of finding a home, and I had to retire in 2014 because I timed out as a federal fire manager. And so after that, I've been retired since then for a couple of years, and I've been active in fire when I can, working on the contract at Sequoia Kings Canyon, writing burn plans and helping out with lots of different projects there, and still doing some training with the Forest Service for prescribed fire up in Northern California.